everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I've got a fun video for you today. So if you follow my Instagram at all, you know that in the last few months I spent some time in Bali with Kelly Sheets and Valerie Wells. We did a creative retreat, and it was amazing for one. For two, I learned some wonderful things about myself from Kelly, and she's gonna take us through a whole series of things, because we all know as we sit at the sewing machine, we do this, and our backs hurt, and our arms hurt, and we have trouble breathing, all this whole stuff. And so Kelly is gonna walk us through some things that are gonna keep us sewing through the whole next year. So welcome, Kelly, thanks for coming. I'm really excited about this. So if we are, we're all sitting, we're all doing this. Can you give us some hints on how to stay more healthy?
Yes. First, I can. The first thing I want to say is that when we become more sedentary, the reason I'm really into teaching you to breathe really well is because it links to everything else. When we are sitting forward, and this can be on the sewing machine, it can be stitching, anything where we're sitting and slouching, it's limiting our ability to breathe well.
Who knew we weren't breathing well, right? But we aren't.
And when we're not breathing well, basic elementary school science teaches us that we are not getting oxygen to our brains, we're not thinking clearly, we're not emotionally present, and so I think it's really helpful to start practicing to breathe better. The other thing is it gets uncomfortable physically, right? We start to feel like we're slouching and slouching and slouching.
I just think you had it at oxygen to our brains. I think we all need more brain work,
For sure. Actually, creativity is linked to that as well. When we have more oxygen to our brain,
guys, this is going to help us so
more
much.
clearly, and we get more creative. And that can be with our fabric and with our friends and our family members, that we just think more clear. So when we are stretching and opening our chest and staying nice and tall, we actually can breathe more fully, and that affects so many things. And so I want to give you some stretches, and I want to show you how you can do that.
I'm so excited for this.
Actually, let me just say one thing.
Should I clear this off? Do we need more room here on the?
We can just, you can do this sitting in your seat,
right.
actually. So what I want to show you is one of the things we talked about in Bali was that why breathing matters so much is that it's connected to our stress system. So first, if you can just notice in your body right now, most people breathe in their shoulders. You'll watch and your shoulders lift up. That means you're only using the top half of your lungs to breathe. When you're doing that, you're releasing, it's basically setting off the fight or flight system continuously.
Which I feel like I'm in a lot.
Yeah. Which means that you're stressed all the time to a low grade.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little. So imagine you're in the parking lot, you're walking to your car, and some strange guy comes up behind you, and you panic and you lift your ribs up and you breathe really quickly. That is setting off the immense chemical system that says, you gotta, kick into ninja mode and save yourself, right? But if you're doing that to a low degree all day long, it's still doing that. You're still having those chemicals that are kicking in that you should be stressed, you're not okay, you should have anxiety. And so when you're breathing fully, you actually trigger calming chemicals. So you're thinking clearly, you're getting more oxygen, you're actually calm and centered. So
we all need this.
Yes. So the first thing is that your diaphragm is this huge muscle.
All right, I'm going to be sitting here like I'm at my sewing machine.
So you're sitting at the sewing machine, and I'm going to show you this. So the first thing is that sitting up nice and tall.
Nice and tall.
You can feel underneath your ribs, and I'm going to tighten my shirt. Right under your ribs, there's this big, big muscle right here. And when it goes down, when you inhale, and your belly sticks out, then that means you're calming. You're taking a nice deep breath. But most people, especially women, suck it in their whole lives to stay nice and skinny, and then that muscle stops moving, which is actually why we breathe up here. So you want to start by relaxing your belly.
Pooching out that belly.
That's right. So when you're sitting
That's
at your
why I'm
sewing
sitting
machine,
down. Nobody can see.
Relax your belly and let it all hang out. This is for your health.
Okay, we can do this in the privacy of our sewing machines.
That's
can't
right.
We?
So first start by taking a couple deep breaths and see if you can feel your diaphragm moving and watch your belly move in and out. And think of a baby. If the baby was laying here, their belly would be moving up and down. That means they're easily taking a deep breath. So you want to let your belly move in and out. If it's gotten chronically tight, you're probably a low-grade stress all the time.
What's really fun is I'm watching all these guys, and they're all out here breathing. That's awesome. We're all feeling better.
Because most of us don't do it.
Yeah, we don't. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's
the second
good.
thing is that what's happening when we're sitting at our sewing machines or stitching, we're getting contracted and really scrunched up. And you cannot take a deep breath like that. So your breath is really shallow the whole time. So pretty much you can change things right away by sitting up tall when you're at your sewing machine, roll your shoulders back, pull them down in the back, and let yourself breathe fully while you're doing what you're doing. If you do that alone, sit up straight, you're gonna start breathing more fully.
Okay, so all of us are gonna forget to do that. But what I'm thinking is that like every, hour?
Oh, yeah.
45 minutes?
Yeah.
You just wanna stop and then do,
Yeah.
because we're all gonna get so into what we're doing. We're not gonna remember to,
Yes.
we're not gonna be able to sew like this. And so
Eventually, maybe you will.
eventually, well, that we're working toward that.
Yes.
That's our year
Yeah.
goal, right?
Yes.
But so like maybe once an hour or something.
And so I usually talk to new clients and ask them, with our nifty iPhones, you can set an alarm. So in the beginning, to create a habit, I set my alarm every couple hours, and it says, Kelly, are you breathing? And so for
That's
this
a really
it would
good
be,
idea.
Kelly, are you sitting up straight? Are you breathing? Take a couple deep breaths. So it's easy to say this, like you said, you have to create a new habit. But also one of the things is that there's these stretches that you can do, because when we sit like this, it becomes tight. So you've been walking around like this. So you really want to open this.
It's not just sewing. It's driving a car,
Yep.
writing, eating, everything, carrying a child. Yep. Everything we do is forward-based, and it pulls everything out of whack.
Exactly. So if you just take some time every day to do some stretches and activate other muscles, it will actually help you remember to do this, because you will literally feel a difference. If you
All right,
start
I'm breathing
standing up
now.
tall.
Give me the
Okay,
stretches.
so one of the
I'm
things
ready.
I want to say is
I'm in my zen.
yeah, I like it. Every morning I wake up, and when I'm heating the water for my coffee, because that's so important for me in the morning, I actually do a bunch of simple stretches. So say that heats for like 3.5 minutes, I stretch for 3.5 minutes. And that means I'm standing in the kitchen and I'm rolling my shoulders back.
Okay.
And first I roll them in circles, but then I hold them down, because really you want to activate all these muscles
Oh
in
my gosh, you
between
can
your
really
shoulder
feel that.
blades. And when you pull your shoulders down and back, you lift it up. That's the opposite of these muscles getting tight. You need to activate these muscles. So if you're just overly lifting your chest and sticking it out, pull your shoulder blades down, that will help immensely. So the whole time you're making your coffee, you might be standing there, you might do some twists, which I don't want to hit you, but you would actually twist around and let your arms flail around and twist. You want to open up your back and your stomach. All of this is really opening up this whole area around the ribs. So twisting.
Okay.
And if we were by ourselves and I wasn't going to hit Jenny, I would really be letting my arms twist
fling.
around and just fling around for a couple minutes. Okay, so then that'll actually open this area up and you can breathe really well. Now you've got your shoulders back, you're going to pull them down. And then the last thing I do, because there's a bunch of stretches which are in this book we're going to tell you about, but one of the things I really like to tell people who sit a lot or stand a lot, because this isn't just sitting, if you're standing at the table here, that's a sedentary activity as well, so you want to pull your shoulders back, is your neck.
Oh my gosh, the
Because
neck.
all of this gets really tight all around our neck, and it's really simple. First, you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, and then you want to elongate your head. Like imagine there's a string on the top of your head, pulling it up and elongate your neck, and then drop your ear to your shoulder.
Oh my gosh, that hurts.
And you can you'll immediately feel the sides of your, there you go. But don't just let your neck crunch down and then put it over. You really want to lift it up, elongate the neck, and then lift it side to side. So I'm actually like lifting this side of my head,
Oh my goodness.
okay? And then second, I would say, is you want to begin doing the walk like an Egyptian, which is you want to keep your shoulders down and back at this
Okay,
point.
the best
whole
part about
time.
all of this is you're doing this while the water boils for your coffee. So it's,
right.
it's not like you're, because one of the hardest things for
Yes.
me is how to get from here, this, to an actual class.
Right.
There's that whole in-between time,
Yes.
and this is it.
Yeah.
This
So
is it.
these
All
are the
right.
things that it's so hard. Like we're coming into this new year, right? And we all have these ideas. Oh, this year I'm gonna do something different. But going from where we are to that place, it's really good to have incremental things we can do rather than failing because we're like, I'm never gonna go to that class I said I'm gonna go to.
Or you do it for 6 days,
Right, and then we stop.
Gosh, I can't believe how tight my neck is. Yeah.
So this Egyptian,
All right,
walk
the
like
Egyptian.
an Egyptian. Side to side. This one, I can guarantee you're almost going to have a huge challenge.
Oh,
No.
wait.
Yeah.
I can't do it without my shoulders. I'm gonna have to practice that one in the kitchen.
Okay. And the other one that I would give you, these are just a few, and these will change things. If you do them every morning while you're making your tea or your coffee, you're gonna notice a difference. So then the other thing is, I want you to imagine like a pencil on the top of your head, and you're gonna begin a neck roll.
Okay.
But imagine you're drawing a spiral on the ceiling. So you don't just whip your head into a big old neck roll. You slowly draw a spiral, because you're gonna get to a place where you're gonna think, oh gosh, that feels really tight. And you want to be breathing the whole time and really feel. And then you come back to center and you do the opposite way. Spiral the opposite way.
That does feel really good.
Okay, the whole time you're pulling your shoulder blades down your back. You're activating. So this whole time I've been working out the back muscles, because what happens for most people is that they begin doing this, and it's not that this is always contracted, it's that our back gets weak. My back muscles don't have to do anything, so I'm trying to pull them back together and down, and then once they get activated, it automatically will open this up. So it's really helpful.
That is really cool. That's
so
awesome.
5 minutes at your coffee station, and you've got a couple practices here. The other thing is that the breathing, once you start doing these, maybe while you're making the coffee, actually you're pouring it over or you're pouring your cup, take some deep breaths. And what you want to do is imagine your lungs are like a balloon. And this is a thing I don't remember learning in school. That's why I love this visual, is that when you inhale fully, you inhale side to side, front to back, and up and down. And so that is the key. It's not just up, up. It's front to back, side to side, up and down. And you might start yawning, as I just saw someone do. And what this indicates to me is, like, when we breathe really deeply, we start getting more oxygen to our brain. So we're moving oxygen to our limbs, we're moving oxygen to our body, and there are so many benefits to this. Like, when we start getting stuck, everything changes. We really get, nothing moves in our body. Waste doesn't move out of our body. We don't get oxygen to those places. Stress levels increase. Like, there's so many mental and emotional and physical things that happen. So for you guys that are sitting a lot, just to move more, move your body. And hopefully if you do a couple minutes of this, then you'll get a little more creative, do some hip swirls, and that opens up your spine, and you begin just playing. There's not a rule of what you have to do. You just need to move and feel.
Oh, interesting.
Feel what happens, and then you get creative on your own.
That is so cool. That's really cool. So this year, as we're all working toward being healthier and being better, these are just some really small, easy things you can do and do at your coffee station. And I love those kind of things because they're doable.
Yeah,
it's the way I sew. It's the way I do most of my life. It's like you do it in small chunks, you make it work, and you do it. Kelly also has this cool book called Breathe. And the quilt in the background is actually Valerie's quilt, Valerie Wells' quilt. And I actually did a foreword for this. So it's pretty life-changing when you start doing this. I think for most of us as quilters, it's life-changing for us to do something where we're taking care of ourselves. And we've got to do that if we want to keep giving. Yeah. So I hope that this year, as you're working on your goals, that you take some time to do this. I'd love it if you want to let us know if you'd like to see this as like a full class. So we're thinking a soga class, but it would be a little bit longer, but I just think we've got to start taking care of ourselves. A lot of the quilters, I won't say most, but a lot of them are my age, but this is not age. This is for anybody. So we'll see our little kids who are doing so much iPad stuff, and they're all doing this, and we see, everybody's doing this. So I think that, as we straighten up and stretch out and we get, all that air going, man, we're going to see some powerful creative stuff happening this year.
I mean, I already feel the difference. Actually, standing here as I was breathing, I realized that I have more energy right now.
I do too. So anyway, I hope this helps you in the year. I hope you have a wonderful year. Take care of yourself. And thanks for joining us here at Missouri Star Quilt Company.